Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah. All set.
Well, we are ready.
Are you going to start?
Yeah. Well, welcome back, everybody. We are, I'm Johannes, here is Mari. We are from the band OOPUS, and today is this special day that we are hosting our guests from Canada, and the band called
Vishtèn.
Vishtèn.
Or how do you actually pronounce it? You can say.
Perfect. Yeah, that was perfect.
Vishtèn.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. And we're gonna ask some cool questions from them, like what they do, who are they, and what they play, and what's their story.
Yep. That's it.
That's it. So
Easy. We didn't do that. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
yeah. So Mari, if you have any,
Maybe for the starters, you could tell a bit about your background, because what I've read from your webpage and also Wikipedia, then you come from like lineage of players, or you have like a really strong culture when it comes to traditional music on Prince Edward Island, where you're at or where you're living. So I would love to know more about it.
Okay. Go for it. Okay, well, my name is Pastel Leblanc, and I play piano, accordion, piano. I sing and I step dance as well. And I guess me and my sister Emma are from an area here in Prince Edward Island that's called La Région Evangeline. So it's a small Acadian, the Evangeline region, I could say. So here on Prince Edward Island, we're only 5% French speaking. So it's a very small percentage. And the Evangeline region is the largest French Acadian community. And there's a big tradition of fiddle music and loads of step dancing. So we grew up in this tradition, and it's very popular. A lot of people play still. It's like an oral tradition, so people pass down the tunes from generation to generation. Mm-hmm. There's loads of, like, step dancing is really popular as well. So I guess, we're very lucky to be from an area like that where it's still very important for people to pass down these traditions.
And to have grown up in a house where our parents loved it, or our dad was the music teacher at our school, and he plays music, and he's a very social person, so he would invite a lot of traditional players to the house. And so we were fortunate to have all sorts of musicians, fiddlers, bagpipers sometimes, flute dancers and all that. And they would drop in at the house, and so we got like a first-hand kind of like experience to learn this type of music. So it's wonderful.
Pretty good intro.
And Pascal is from nearby.
Yeah, I'm not from the Prince Edward Island, but I'm from just nearby island called Magdalen Islands. So it's part of Quebec province. So my first language obviously is French as well. And it's the opposite on my island. It's 95% people speak French and 5% speak English.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when I joined the band 17 years ago, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
So we met at the festival, and we just been together, and we have kind of the same tradition, like fiddle tunes and songs and stuff. So we are Acadian as well. It's maybe I'm going to let somebody tell about the story of Acadie. Mm-hmm. So we are Acadian as well on my island, and they are Acadian. So it was a good mix, like musically minding and influence and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like the traditions on both our islands, we have to say it sounds Celtic. Mm-hmm. So when you hear the tunes, people usually say, oh, it sounds Irish or Scottish. And that's just because of our history. Like the history made that, yes, we were French islands before, but then we went through a deportation, and the people that settled with us were Irish or Scottish. And
that's why.
And then the mixes of the music, like our French music with their Celtic music, it just made this new blend of of traditional music. Yeah.
So this is what or maybe you could like tell more about the Acadian culture or how it stands out from the other regions in Canada, for instance.
Or for example, if everybody knows, it's Celtic or it's Irish. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Well, essentially, so our ancestors are from France, different regions, but mainly Normandy and some Brittany and La Vendée, so kind of along the coast. And our ancestors started settling in Eastern Canada in 1604, around there. And at that point, that's when they started calling themselves Acadians, because they were new immigrants that arrived and they were starting their whole new life there. And so they stayed there for 150 years or so. And they wanted to be like a neutral type of new community. They didn't want, anyways, that caused some problems for them. And eventually the English deported them. So we are kind of the ancestors of the people that ran away in the woods. So our ancestors kind of fled and found these new communities all around the Maritimes. And so they were just kind of small pockets of French-speaking Acadians, mainly in Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, but there's some in Quebec, where on Pascal's Island and throughout. So there's a very, very long history. And then some of them fled to Louisiana. So if any one of you knows Cajun music or Cajun culture or anything like that, like we are directly from the same place, but after the deportation, we got separated. And then our blends of music kind of took on different influences. Like the people in Louisiana got all of the Spanish and Southern influences, and we got all of the Irish and Celtic influences because we were settled with people from those places, right? So, I mean, it's a very, very complex culture, and we could go on for a long time, but that's the kind of short answer.
It's good.
Yeah, and good. And what differentiates our music, I think, like Pascal could explain, he plays the fiddle, and the way that he bows is a very Acadian style of playing. The way that we tap our feet when we play music is also very Acadian. So that's something that's specific to our culture. And then the fact that we sing songs in French and that they're call and answer songs, and they're either originating directly from France or they were made up really locally is kind of our thing. And we're very known for our house parties. So just kind of like people gathering and playing music all night. It's a very, very festive and energetic culture, and Acadians are very proud. And
so is it still going strong?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But in different places, like because we're separate, there's no Acadia officially.
In a country.
It's not a country. It's kind of like
it is like a nation, but in our hearts. It's how people explain it. Like
we have a flag, we have a national anthem, we nationally have National Acadian Day that is recognized, universities, colleges, and things like that. But there's no real Acadia, and it's probably because we're all separated. His island is 5-hour boat ride away. Moncton, that is the biggest Acadian city, we'll say, is about a 2-hour drive away. But in between, then we're, it's a mix. So, it's you guys should come and visit.
I would love to. So you have
maybe I will ask hey guys, we are talking with a band called Vishtèn from Canada, and maybe we will go through what instruments every one of you are playing. And also you mentioned like your rhythm with your feet.
With your feet.
So maybe John, I have a little question concerning the rhythm section
for the girls.
Yeah, so
okay.
Start off with Emmanuel.
Okay. So my name is Emmanuel Leblanc, and I play whistles, I play octave mandolin, I play piano, Jew's harp, I sing, and I also do foot percussion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Pastel Leblanc. I play piano, accordion, foot percussion, and I sing.
Yeah.
So,
But she also plays the fiddle, and she's a closet fiddle player. So yeah, 5.
Fiddle player, that's a good term.
Yeah.
All right, my turn. My name is Pascal Nios, and I play fiddle, mando, guitar, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass. That's about it. String instrument.
Yeah, like orchestra there.
Yeah. And I sing as well.
Yeah, so I really recommend everybody who's watching this interview at the moment to check out their live video, because we did, and well, you could say it's pretty, generic to do the rhythm with your feet, but actually it's not generic at all if you start doing it and while playing a piano, for example, or singing at the time.
Or playing accordion.
Yeah, so it's really worth checking it out. And maybe it's not common here in Estonia. We don't have that much of rhythm section.
Well, some people just use stomp boxes, but it's like, beat on
the beat.
Yeah, on the beat, but not like difficult rhythms.
Yeah, maybe you can talk about little about the rhythm section.
Because it comes from tap dancing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think originally it would have. What they say is like it would have been when the Irish settlers would have came in, and the Acadians and Irish would have started logging and just like exchanging steps. So that so it would come directly from the Sean-Nós probably style of dancing in Ireland or something like that.
Yeah.
And then just like just transmitted on to like a chair setting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that you're sitting on a chair, and that probably has a historical side to it too, because you had to hide the fact that you were playing any instruments at one point.
By the church.
By
actually.
the church, yeah.
You guys were mentioning something, but we used to tell this story in the show, and then realize that like our grandfather went through this, but. I guess it must have been maybe in the 80s, I don't know, in the 70s, 60s or 70s, the priest would actually go by the houses and peek in the windows and like look if people were dancing or having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they were, he would ask them. Yeah. And then he would take the instruments. And so we told this for years. I remember in the show, like, this is why we dance. And then my mom was like, yeah, that actually happened at their house. So they were like 12 children. It was like big families. So and she's the youngest. So her older siblings remember our grandfather playing fiddle and accordion and jaw harp and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But at one point, the priest came, took the instruments, locked them up in the shed, and for years he didn't play.
And my mom never really saw him play because it was after that,
Yeah.
So,
so that sucks.
Yeah.
But that's why people would have probably started dancing sitting down.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's not only typical to your band, but also like in the region, all in all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing. And the basic beat is just 1, 1, 2, 3. So, it's a pretty basic rhythm that once you learn it and you can start playing an instrument with it, you just kind of have to forget that the feet are going. It's just like you can do just this constant one only step forever for hours and hours. We chose to do some more intricate steps, a lot of polyrhythmic kind of syncopation, because we are step dancers, and we thought it would be fun to kind of have different beats.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really gives a lot to the music. Yeah.
And I really like your album, actually.
Which one?
That was nominated a lot. Horizons.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, you made it.
Really, well, I'm studying sound engineering, and I really pay attention for the sound, and it really sounds nice. I mean, like the whole structure and the rhythm and the melodies and harmonies,
They just work.
Yeah, they really work and blend together nice. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's lovely. Yeah. And I was asking Mari, like, they should be around, you know, in Estonia during the summer and having the Viljandi Folk Festival. It really is like a spot on. It's not, I wouldn't say that you are a safe bet because you are not traditional in direct sense.
What do you mean?
You are a mixture of different traditions, like so many different layers. Well, you can't say it's Celtic or Irish or...
well, it's Akkadian.
Yeah. And that's really interesting about it. So in the beginning, I was like, okay, what is this? And then when we dig in here, it more and more...
It opens up more.
Yeah.
It has their own sound for sure, and that's why people are like, what is Akkadian music, you know? And this is just our style of Akkadian music. There's all sorts of different people that play different things, as you know, right?
More traditional, mostly,
But I would love to know more about the Jews harp, since I also play the Jews harp. Do you use it more like I hear that you use it more like a rhythm instrument and not so much as a melody instrument, but do you also have a tradition of playing melodies with it, or... like, how does it?
Not really. I know that people like traditionally do play the Jews harp, but not a lot of people. So I haven't seen a lot of firsthand like people in front of me playing actually. But I know that it existed with certain players, I guess. I just really love the sound of it, and I ended up getting a low A Jews harp that was pretty heavy and had a really beautiful sound. And I didn't do anything more than just start playing it rhythmically, kind of like I would accompany on an instrument or things like that. So the possibilities are more than what I'm doing it, but it's more of a rhythm thing, just kind of to support, what's going on with the rest of the players. And that's all I really know about Jews harp here. It's not a very popular instrument by any means, but you do see it around a bit.
We will share some links we know about Jews harp music.
Yeah, we'd love to see and hear some things. Yeah. Do you play it more melodically, Mari?
In the band, mostly for the rhythm and like different interesting like sounds, but traditionally it's played as a melody instrument.
Oh, yeah, that's very cool.
So,
bless you.
So, I have this one pretty simple, but mostly it's really hard to answer it. What is your music about?
There's some music about love.
This work.
I think our music is a feeling good when that's what we want when we play a show. We want the crowd feels good and have fun and just forget about their problem and stuff like that. So I think it's the basic thing. After that, we love to do a lot of stuff, but it's the basic.
And the type of music was used for dancing before. That was the reason that people played this kind of music, is to make people dance. So I mean, when we're playing a show, we're not there just to make people dance in a hall like people used to do, but there's still something about that transmits, the kind of like festive dance. People always say, oh my God, I wish I could have stood up in the theater, whatever, to dance. So I think it does like bring out joy.
Yeah. And as far as our lyrics and things like that, most of the lyrics in Akkadian music are about heartbreaks and actually very somber titles. And it's funny because we just take that music and we just put it into this happy mood, and that's something that we just all Akkadians do, I think. It's nice to have once in a while maybe like a slower kind of depressing moment with the song, but we like to pump it up. There's some pretty horrible texts actually in our lyrics, but I think that's the case with a lot of traditional music generally.
But 2020 has been quite a tough year for everyone. So what have you been up to, and what are your plans for the rest of 2020?
Well, that's some cool stuff actually.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah, thankfully, like the organizations here, like a lot of stuff went online.
Yeah.
So we actually did like, I don't know if it was like about 10 shows, like throughout June and July. So it was really nice. Like as soon as it hit, yeah, we didn't do much for like maybe the next month, but then stuff started to get organized.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a few online shows first, and then
we got commissioned to do
a few things. And then here in the island, they have a drive-in festival, which is kind of cool. So, you know, they put up, the province bought a big outdoor screen, and they recorded a bunch of PEI artists doing 2-3 songs, and they build a show so people can go out, drive their car in front of the screen and watch a show. So that was kind of neat to be part of that.
Yeah. We have not played for a public yet since March, which is very weird.
Yeah.
But we're going to have our first public show in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
In Cape Breton, so that'll be awesome, and hopefully some more will come. And we're starting to write music for like a new project. That's what we'll do probably for the fall and the winter, is just create some new content and things like that.
Yeah.
And how do you get inspired, or what's your motivation for creating new music? What's your process? Like, is there one that is responsible, or are you all three really, you know, finding new things and bringing it into the band, or how's the process for you?
Yeah.
I think it's dependent. All three of us go to inspiration. The inspiration during the COVID, and when that started for me, it was really hard to just, okay, I want to play more, I want to compose more, nothing. Just but now it's a little bit more okay. Oh, wow, because we have a great summer here outside. It's beautiful, and for me, nature is really inspire me, and the people around me, and the life. So that's coming now. So it's a good sign, because I was not inspired at all since 3-4 months, but that's coming. So it's a good sign.
Yeah. I think experiences inspire me. Like, we went to see a show, my first show out actually on Friday. And it was 2 of our friends playing traditional music, and now I feel inspired. So that's great. That made a difference. Yeah. So live shows are not replaceable. No, I don't think you can replace with a live stream show, which is very comforting for me to know that
we're not replaceable.
We're not replaceable as musicians, and artists.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
With our friends and listeners and who are currently watching this, how they should be finding you? What is the best way? Do you have your homepage or Facebook? What?
We have all of that stuff. We have a website, so it's just vishtèn.net, and then we have Facebook and Twitter. We're on YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff.
Nice.
But wait, what does it mean, Vishtèn?
Good question.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. No.
That's not true.
No, it's a song. So it's a song that's a mix of French Acadian, English, and Mi'kmaq, and that's the native language here on PEI. And in our history, the Mi'kmaqs pretty much saved our lives. Like during the deportation, they helped us survive in the winters in the forest and all that. So there was a link, and so it became a song, and a very popular singer made the song Vishtèn that, you know, she sang all over. And we learned it in school, and kind of a made-up language. So yeah, even for us, we don't really know.
It doesn't mean anything, or, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, culturally, it means something for us. It's like the mix of the cultures at home, pretty much.
Yeah.
Great to know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all those really insightful answers.
Maybe there is something that we missed, and you really are, trying.
Maybe you would
like to share
something that we didn't ask already.
Your questions were great.
They were. Yeah.
I don't
Thank
think of
you.
any.
No.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Yeah.
I hope we're gonna really met each other one day.
Yes. In
Yeah.
person.
In person. Yeah.
So then, thank you for having this time with us, and thanks for all the answers.
And for all the music that you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Thanks.
yeah.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks for the great interview.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
See you next time.
Until next time.
Okay. See you.
Your people.
Bye.
Punch.
OOPUS TV.